struggles we face aren't just physical, emotional, or even psychological. They feel deeper, like they're rooted in something beyond the surface of our everyday lives. And many of us carry questions, that medicine, logic, or even traditional therapy can't quite explain. Now, what if some of our challenges have spiritual roots, listeners? And if so, what does that mean for healing, for growth, for reclaiming peace? Today on Inner Peace, Better Health, with your host Sana, we are going to dive into the 5 groups of spiritual root causes of problems. Of course, with our incredible guest, Alex Martin B. Now, for over 34 years, he has been guiding people through their own healing journeys, like mapping patterns that repeat again and again, past life programs, soul fragments, heavy emotions, attachments, and outside interference. But we are not here just to talk about theory, listeners. We are here to explore what this looks like in real life and how these patterns might be showing up in yours. So let's quickly begin. And Alex, welcome to the show. And I'm really, really honored to have you here with us.
Thank you, Sana. Good day, everybody. Thank you for having me. And yeah, let's dive in and give your audience some value from my experiences.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm Alex. To begin with, before trying to understand the 5 root groups of spiritual causes, how exactly it all started for you? How exactly it all originated?
Well, it's a long road. I started when I was 15. I was guided from within to just be learning about healing in an energetical way, spiritual way. And it was difficult because I grew up in post-communistic Poland and there was no materials about it. So since I was 15, I learned and practiced. I always wanted to practice, not only having knowledge, but applying this knowledge for betterment of humanity. Fast forward through meditation and yoga, bhakti yoga, and teaching people how to awake spiritually. Now I am guided to quantum healing or helping people to go into deep trance, natural deep meditation with my voice, my energy. And in this deep trance, they can be aware of what is really happening under the surface. So it was like lifelong journey, and I'm here and I'm still learning. I'm still gathering information. And what is important for your listeners is to understand that what I am sharing is from clinical experience. It's not from the books. It's not from my speculation. This is what I learned after thousands of sessions, thousands of people all around the world. I'm working remotely, online, and this is what I am sharing.
That's really honest, humble, and very inspiring, Alex. Because I can not exactly connect or relate, but I can understand that, sometimes, you have a journey full of trials and tribulations. You do not have the access to resources, but then I think it's a sheer willpower and that curiosity, that hunger of, absorbing the wisdom in there. And I think that is kind of spiritually awakening to understand yourself better and then also pass on the gift to others as well. That's really inspiring, Alex. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yes. And I mean, if it is okay for you to answer, what do you think triggered this awakening within you? Was it the inaccessibility of the resources, or was it because of the prevailing conditions or the conditioning in there, or any kind of cultural nuance, if I may ask?
Well, it is much broader than that. Through my spiritual journey, when you are doing your practice, you are going deeper, you start to connect with your higher self, your total soul that you are part of as human, and you have access to all knowledge. And through my higher self, I became aware that All of this that happened in this lifetime was pre-planned. My credit is that I followed my intuition. I followed my higher self. Intuition is the voice of the higher self. And I did well because I could have been distracted or taken off the path. So I feel blessed and grateful that I was able to follow my path. And it was all part of plan. It's a mission. It's a mission. When I'm looking back on my life, nobody around me was interested in such things. I was like black sheep in my community, in my family. So everything is according to the plan, and I am continuing on my mission, my purpose.
Once again, that's really inspiring, and yeah, I completely agree with you, Alex. Now, okay, let's try to understand now the 5 root groups of spiritual causes. Alex, if you can walk us through them briefly and why they matter for someone's healing journey.
Okay, so this is very important because I have contact with a lot of people that are suffering chronic diseases, unexplained symptoms, and doctors and drugs and surgeries really cannot help. And these people are frustrated because they went through surgeries, they went through heavy drugs, and still symptoms are there. They are just maybe a little less, or the cancer came back after 5 years. In my practice, what we found is that the symptoms that people experience, like cancer, disease, being blocked, also mental, like no motivation, feeling depressed, feeling in anxiety, panic attacks, all of these that you experience that are negative or uncomfortable, they are like a signal on the dashboard of the car. You have a car and there is blinking something. There is orange or red lamp is blinking. These are your symptoms. Your body, your mind are communicating with you that something is wrong. Unfortunately, people are looking at it very superficially, that I need to fight these symptoms. These symptoms are bad. And the symptoms will come back because the message was not received. The symptoms, the disease is the message about deeper issues. What are the deeper issues? 5 groups. Most common that everybody has is suppressed emotions. First group is the suppressed, toxic, low vibrational emotions like shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, and pride. All of those and their variations are actually energy that are stored in your system. And in order to have them suppressed, you need to also spend energy. So, for example, if you had a difficult mother or father, abusive, narcissistic, and you are feeling angry, you are feeling abandoned, you are feeling betrayed by your parent through your whole childhood, you have these feelings inside you until you choose to let them go and release them and forgive. To give you an example, in real life, I had recently a client and she had a frozen shoulder. She was menopausal woman, and frozen shoulder is accepted that some women have it. And in the session, I guided her to go into this expanded awareness, deep trance. And she started to scan her body, and she noticed that there is a red energy in her shoulder, a red, orange cloud. And she told me that I am just listening what people are telling to me, and then I work with what they are telling me. So we started investigating what is this in her shoulder. And she started to see and feel that this is my anger. This is my anger towards my mother. Her mother already passed, and she's still holding suppressed anger. And this anger was creating a secondary symptom in meridian system, in the chakra system, the blockage. The energy that usually should go through this was blocked by this anger. So that's why the physical body experienced tertiary symptoms of the frozen shoulder. So it's like a layer. And what we did during the session, I guided her to feel this anger towards her mother, and in order to surrender it, to release it and surrender it to God's source, breathe it out like a red cloud.
Mhm.
And she did it after and it was just one aspect of the session. Session is 2 hours. It was just last one aspect. We did many other things in many different other parts of the body. And after the session, when she wake up, she felt no problem in the shoulders immediately. Immediately, the body felt free, felt relaxed in this part. So this is the example of suppressed emotions. And this is only the one group. So do you have any questions about this so far, about this one group?
I have a lot of in here, Alex. First of all, I do believe that sometimes the unresolved trauma, whether it's stemming from childhood experiences or any kind of past experiences, they do manifest in terms of, physical dis-ease. Yes, that's why we
Mhm.
call it as dis-ease. And often, especially that you gave the example of the woman, she was menopausal and kind of, society it's kind of brushed off, like a symptom of aging. So it's normal. It's bound to happen. But I think body, it's such a beautiful kind of a vessel in there. It gives out those signals, as whispers. And I think this session, it really helped her to understand those signals, um, understand the root cause in there. And that's why it worked. It worked. And also, Alex, one more question that I would like to ask you. Um, because we are trying to address an unresolved trauma, now it can be of any kind of degree there or capacity. Do you see any of your clients, kind of hesitating to kind of revisit that trauma because it can be sometimes very difficult?
Well, it's difficult when you are working alone. And
Uh-huh.
sometimes we need assistance. Sometimes we need assistance that somebody will come and show us what we don't see or we don't want to see. So this is the problem, that if there was a trauma that was very uncomfortable, destructive.
Mm.
For example, yesterday I had a session with a young man that when he was 17, his mom was drinking a lot alcohol, and he came home and she told him, go out of this house and kill yourself. And he was 17. And then he was, of course, completely shocked, destroyed,
Mhm.
and he went out of house and then called his girlfriend, and girlfriend, hearing this, dumped him in the same night. So it was like one after another blow, and we had to work on this trauma today in the session yesterday. And he was first, he needed to face it, that he has it. He felt it, that he still have it, anger and hurt from the mother. And he, in this expanded state, he met his mother herself, higher self of his mother. In Indian terminology, it's at Paramatma. I guided him to feel what his mother is feeling towards him right now. They didn't speak for many years, they don't have contact. And he felt that his mother actually loved him very much and wants everything for him the best. And he was crying and releasing and saying, I love you, mom, and I'm sorry. And also the mom, when he was connecting on the deeper level with the consciousness of his mom, he understood that his mom was hurt, but by her father. Her father was very abusive. So generational trauma goes like this
Okay.
through generations. And in the session, we stopped it. We stopped it because he forgave his mom, and the advice from his higher self was, after the session, call your mom. Call your mom and tell her that you love her and you want to meet with her after all these years. And it
Mm.
will be healing for both of you. So this was the story of how somebody can help you in a deep trance to release and connect.
That's really heartwarming, Alex. That's really heartwarming. I think practically, if I can get a sense of it, it is not running away from the problem or the root cause. It is, kind of facing and embracing it and finding a better way around. So it's just really heartwarming. Thank you for sharing that, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned about generational trauma, I would also like to bring in the work that you do in past life programs. Now, we have done discussions around past life regression therapies, and kind of revisiting. Then sometimes discussion on Akashic records. Past life programs, it can sound abstract to some people. So, how do you make the concept practical for someone who may not believe in reincarnation or spiritual continuity?
Actually, I work with people that didn't believe in reincarnation because they identified themselves as Christians and they went to past lives. I didn't even finish my induction, and they already found themselves in past life in different clothes, in different gender, different time, having some kind of situation going on. It's not a matter of belief. It's matter of scientific reality. Me as a scientist, I see my work in this way: scientific, objective reality. Because no matter who I work with, people from New Zealand, Australia, Japan, India, Europe, Africa, America, I work with everybody and they have all kinds of beliefs, all kinds of, background. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they believe in their mind consciously. When they go into deep trance, they access the reality that they are soul, they are a ball of light or spark of light, eternal, part of the source, and they have different human experiences in different lifetimes. And actually, they are not past lives, they are all now. The concept of linear time is only for the human experience, that you have something that starts, continues, and then ends, because you need to deal with these lessons and these challenges of losing people and things and places, and you are passing away. So this is a part of the experience, the linear time. But really, outside of it, there is no linear time. Everything is now. So no matter who these people are, what they believe, they, in deep trance, they describe the same reality. That there is, for example, an interlife. Between lives, you go to the light and you review your past life yourself with your guides, and then you learn from that, and then you prepare for another life. You speak with your council of light and um, plan what you want to learn, what challenges you will have, and so on. For me, after thousands of sessions, all these people are describing the same thing. So for me, it's like a scientific, empirical reality.
Yeah. Interesting. That's very interesting. I really like that practical explanation in there, with especially with respect to past life. And I also believe that it's important to know that healing doesn't require adopting a certain belief. It is about what works for the person in front of you. It's never one size fits all.
Yes.
Okay. And also, Alex, talking about attachments and external interference. Now, it can sound unsettling. So, I'm really very curious to know, how do you address these without creating any fear or dependence on the healer?
Yes, contrary to common belief, from my statistics and statistics of other practitioners like me that are doing the spirit release, about 70% of people, have at least one attached lost soul, human or otherwise. This is just a human, like a parasite, in the physical, we have all kinds of parasites
Yeah.
inside the body, tapeworms, we have the the mosquitoes, we have ticks, you have all kinds of, parasites, physical. Also, there are parasites that are on the energy level, lost souls that attach to you, and they are draining your energy, and they are influencing you, bringing their own problems on you. So fear is illusion in the mind. Human mind create almost to everything with fear, but you are not your mind, you are not your feelings. And I work with these lost souls. I treat them as a secondary patient. I treat them with love and compassion. They are lost and nobody see them, nobody feels them. Situation is even more problematic that, incarnated in the body, the soul. So I guide them. I guide them back home. I use different techniques, and usually they have some kind of trauma from their past life when they died and they didn't go to the light, they didn't go to home. And I need to talk with them. I need to talk with them through the client. Client is voice. And I use psychotherapy to bring them understanding and clarity that this is not natural to be attached to another person. It's a very loving, very beautiful work where the attached spirit understands that they belong to the light and they belong to the, to their family, soul family in the light, and they can continue. And they come back to the light and they continue, and the person is free of the attachment. It's not like fighting, it's about guiding, it's about understanding what is happening. So if you have any type of symptoms that, for example, you have chronically fatigued, always tired. If you have, you are not feeling like yourself. If you are, for example, having obsessive, strange thoughts, if you have sudden onset of symptoms that you have no explanation. For example, young person can feel a dementia type of symptoms. This is all pointing to external energy attaching. And now people probably are thinking how to putting a protective light around you in the morning and in the evening is a good practice. Also understanding that what is destroying your aura, because everybody has protective aura, but there are specific things that are destroying this aura or opening it up or making holes in this aura so that any wandering lost soul can attach to you. First is drinking alcohol, taking drugs, even marijuana. If you are smoking regularly, you are making holes in your aura. And then any type of strong emotions, low vibrational emotions like depression, if you have any long depression, suicidal thoughts, any accident, when you have sudden shock, also it can open your aura. So you can see that it's so anesthesia in the hospital. If you go to hospital for any procedure and they put you on the chemicals to not feel pain, even if you lose consciousness or you don't lose consciousness, it's a chemicals that affect your energetical system and affect your aura, and spirits can attach. So you can understand that this is a very common situation. Unfortunately, the limited belief systems on this planet don't know about it. So this is part of my work to educate people about this reality.
Absolutely. So, Alex, if our listeners, they would like to connect with you to get access to the resources and the wisdom that you are providing, what should be the easiest way?
I have a website. It's called Clarity Hypnosis Together, like Europe. And there you can see the videos, how I work. Some people wanted to share their sessions in full. You can see how I work with angels, with their higher self. And you can schedule a free consultation, half hour with me, and we can talk about your issues, and I can give you bigger picture what's happening. And I also wrote a book. You can read the book from the sessions. There are chapters, real life stories, what people experience. So everything is available for free. You can have access.
Superb, Alex, superb. That's really good to know. And I'll make sure that all the details are there in the show notes for our listeners. And I think what I loved about this conversation is, how it reminds us that healing isn't about chasing perfection or, just completely erasing struggle. It is about having that curiosity about the patterns, the whispers, the fragments or emotions or influences that, have that potential to shape our lives beneath the surface. So, thank you so much, Alex, for guiding us through this map of spiritual root causes with compassion and clarity. Thank you. This was really, really much needed.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And to all the beautiful listeners out there, thank you to everyone for joining us on Inner Peace Better Health. Thank you for devoting your time to listen to this conversation. Until next time, may you walk with curiosity, courage, and a little more peace in your heart. This is your host, Saran, signing